So coming to the today's session, uh, in the last session we discussed about the BRS template and FRS template. And I told you one thing like the FRS is very important thing. We need to by heart it, right? See, today we are going to see the example FRS. But before that, once we need to check what are the points in your FRS. In FRS, mainly we have 6 points. Now, what are the 6 points here? First 3 points are overview, prototype, page elements. Madam, overview, prototype, page elements. What is the meaning of overview? Overview means the information about the page which is displayed in prototype. That is a rough information is called as an overview. Prototype means the screenshot of the page or the snapshot of the page is called as a prototype. Next, page elements. Page elements means the if anyone start your webcam, please stop your webcams. Okay, right. See, page elements means the elements available in the page. The elements available in the page is called as a page elements, like the text boxes, buttons, and everything. The next one is input validations and error state. Now, what is the input validations? The rules and regulations, like what type of data you can enter, what size of data you can enter. So that is a input validation. How this is helpful to the QA people? Input validations are used to prepare the valid data and prepare the invalid data. When you can say like a data is a valid data or data is a invalid data, by following these rules, if you prepare the data that is a valid data, against the rules, if you prepare the data that is called as a invalid data. So if you enter any invalid data, then what is the message from your application? What is the response from your application? That is called as a error state. Error state. Okay. The next one is use case diagrams, and finally use cases. Use case diagrams are used to easily understand the use cases. Use case diagrams are used to easily understand the use cases. Finally, coming to the use case. So use case is used to prepare the test cases. As a QA engineer, what is our main job? Our main job is test case preparation. Based on the use cases only, we need to prepare the test cases. Now, what is the definition for the use case? The use case is nothing but simply, it is a brief description of actor action and system response. It is a brief description of actor action and system response. Of course, we have one more definition. When we discuss the use case topic separately, I'll explain all the definitions. Today, temporarily, you can understand use case is nothing but a brief description of actor action and system response. See, in the last class, we discussed it is a rough use case for your Gmail or Yahoo Mail. So in your Gmail, what is your actor action? What is the work done by you initially in your Gmail? Initially, you enter the URL like a www.gmail.com. Then what is the system response? It displays a login page. Right? After that, what is your next action? You enter the username, you enter the password and click on submit. Then what is the system response? System response is the system will display the inbox to you. So based on this use case, we need to prepare a test case. Maybe on today or tomorrow, we are going to see how to prepare the test scenarios, test cases, and everything. I'll explain you step by step. Okay, ma'am? See, coming to the today's class. So today's class is example FRS document. So I'll share the document with you. So no need to take any screenshot and so on. So today I'll share the document with you. Okay. See, it is a example banking admin FRS document. In a banking project, the admin module FRS document. See, in FRS, how many points will be there? As per the yesterday's class, there are 6 points. See, observe the 6 points. Overview. And the second one is prototype. The third one is page elements. And the fourth one is input validations and error state. The fifth one is use case diagrams, or use case diagrams are also called as a task flow diagrams. Task flow diagrams. I'll explain all these things today itself. Okay. So based on each and every task flow diagram or use case diagrams, again we have a use cases. The last 6th point in the FRS is use case. So for every diagram, For every use case diagram or for every task flow diagram, there is one use case. So of course, we are not preparing this use case diagrams. We are not preparing these use cases. So we are not preparing the FRS. Just we need to download this FRS document. We need to study it. And based on this FRS, we need to start our testing process. See, in the use case, you can see one side, you can see the actor action. Opposite side, you can see the system response. Today, I'll explain all these things related to our bank homepage. But today's our heading is, in your notes, please take the heading. Today's our heading is bank homepage FRS. Bank homepage FRS. That is our today's topic. Right. So what is the meaning of homepage? Homepage means the beginning page, the first page. So when you are opening an application, whatever the first page opening, so that first page, the starting page is called as a home page. See, before this overview, first I'll explain the prototype, then easily you can understand the remaining points. See, just to take a small heading in your notes, prototype. I mean, which prototype? It is a bank homepage prototype. Bank homepage prototype. See, I'll explain this prototype. Just see on the top of the page, you can see the 5 buttons. Just it is example project. So if you're perfect with a project, then easily we can test it. So that's why I'm explaining the example project here. See, on the top, how many buttons? On the top, you can see the 5 buttons: home button, personal banking, corporate banking, international banking, about us. See here, if you click on home, anywhere it will go to the home page. If you click on personal banking, it will display the information about a personal banking. It will display the information about a personal banking. If you click on a corporate banking, it will display the information about a corporate banking. If you click on international banking, it will display the information about international banking. About us means it will display the information about this particular bank, that is called as a about us. On the left hand side, you can see 2 boxes. The first one is customer login. The second one is banker login. So in customer login, again, you can see the 3 options. What are the 3 options? Personal, corporate, and international. Here, if you click on a personal, it will display the login page for personal banking. Here, it will display the login page for corporate banking. Here, it will display the login page for international bank. Right, login page for personal banking, login page for corporate banking, login page for international bank. See, what is the difference between these top buttons and this left hand side buttons? On the top, you can see the personal banking, corporate banking, international banking. Left hand side also, you can see the similar buttons. Then what is the difference? See, in the top buttons, if you click on this personal banking, it will display the information about a personal banking. Here, it will display the information about a corporate banking. Here, it will display the information about international banking. Only informations will be displayed. On the left hand side, if you click on this personal, it will display the login page for personal banking. Here, the login page for corporate banking. Here, the login page for international banking. Okay, got it? So these buttons only to display the login pages. Login page for personal banking, login page for corporate, and login page for international. So now coming to the second box, here 2 different persons can log in here. Banker can log in and the administrator can log in. Of course, I'm not saying like all the projects are same. So in this particular project, the requirements are this box is for 2 different types of users. The banker can log in here, the admin can log in. So who is a banker? Banker means the bank employee who working in that particular bank, like the bank manager, cashier, accountant, and so on and so. See, the banker can log in and the admin can log in. Who is the admin? Admin means the person who can manage this project, the person who can manage this application. So that person is called as an administrator. So here, as per this particular project requirements, if the banker wants to log in, the banker need to fill the 3 details. Now, what are the 3 details? Branch name, in which branch he is working, username, password. The banker have to fill the 3 details. Whereas if the administrator wants to log in, the admin have to fill only 2 details. The admin have to fill only the username, password. The banker have to fill the 3 details. whereas the administrator need to fill only the two details for login, only the username and password. So coming to the number of users, what are the different types of users in this particular page? Now this page is containing totally 4 different types of users. This page is containing 4 different types of users. Number 1, administrator. Now you can easily you can remember like ABC. ABC means A for administrator, B for banker, C for customer. Okay, ma? A for administrator, B for banker, C for customer. The last one, visitor. Visitor. What is the difference between the customer and visitor? Customer means if the person is having an account in this bank, that person is called as a customer. Visitor means he don't have any account. Just he wants to see the details. He don't have any account in this bank. So that person is called as a visitor. What are the options helpful to visitor? Visitor can use the top 5 buttons. Visitor can use the top 5 buttons, and a visitor can use the bottom links also. Visitor can use the bottom links also. As a QA engineer, you should not leave anything. So you should not leave these links also. Now, what are the links here in the bottom? Like you can see like customer services, internet banking FAQ, privacy, terms and conditions, disclaimer, sitemap. So the visitor can use the top buttons and the visitor can use the bottom links. Right, got it? And this box is only for customer. This box is only for customer. So this second box, this is for administrator and the banker. Administrator and banker. Say opposite side here, you can see one more box, news. Just it is a scrolling text. Just it is a scrolling text. The banking related news will be scrolling here. This particular bank related news will be scrolling here. Just it is a rough information about the prototype on the bank homepage. Right? So if anyone needs to take a screenshot, you can take a screenshot. Just to take a screenshot. Anyway, today I'll share this document with you, the entire FRS document. Today I'll share with you. So if you want to just give me 1 minute. I think today the chart option may be available. I'll check it out. No, it's not available. Right. Now just to take a screen. Right. So now I'll continue. Just see. In FRS totally we have 6 points. What is the first point, Amma? The first point is overview. Till now we discussed the prototype. Now coming to the overview. What is the meaning of overview? Overview means the information about the page, a rough information about the page which is displayed in prototype is called as a overview. So just observe the overview here. What is the rough information given? So here homepage allows a different users. Homepage allows a different users such as admin, the bank employee, various customers. Various customers means the individual customer, the corporate customer, the international customers. So like that, there is a different types of users in this particular page. To log in, they can log in here. They can access the application for further usage, and also it provides the information about various services offered by the bank. It provides the information about various services offered by the bank. Just a rough information about this page is called as a overview. Prototype means the screenshot of the page or the snapshot of the page. Next, page elements. So what are the elements in this page? What are the buttons? What are the text boxes? What are the links? On the top, how many buttons? On the top, we have 5 buttons.
5 buttons.
Yeah, you can see here element name and element type. Element name and element type. So the top 5 buttons you can see here. The top 5 buttons are home is a button, personal banking is a button, corporate banking is a button, international banking is a button, and about us is a button. Now we are not preparing this FRS. Don't think for how to prepare it. Just we need to download it. We need to study it. No, we are not preparing this. Okay. So next on the left hand side, we have 3 buttons here, personal, corporate, and international. You can see personal, corporate, and international. Next in the second box, you can see branch name is a drop down. Branch name is a drop down. Some people are call it as a drop down box. Some people are call it as a combo box. Drop down or combo box. You can see branch name is a combo box, a username, password, and a login button. Right? My username is a text box. My username is a text box or edit box. Password is also text box. Login is a link. In this particular project, the login is a link, but in some projects, the login will be a button. Login may be a link or it may be a button. In the bottom, you can see some links. Now, what are the bottom links here? The bottom links are customer services, internet banking FAQ, privacy, terms and conditions, disclaimer, and so and so. So you can see here customer services is a link. So all these things are links. On the opposite side, you can see the news. The news is a scrolling text. So the elements in that page, the elements in the page is called as a page elements. So now my question is, in this page, where you can type the data, now observe the page exactly. In this page, where you can type the data, where you can give the input manually, where you can type the data, you can type the data only in username and only in password.
Right.
Only in these two fields you can type the data. In remaining fields, you can't type any data. You can't type any input. So here, what are the input fields? The input fields are username text box is a input field. Password text box is a input field. You can type some inputs. Only on that input fields, we have input validations. We have input validations. Input validations means what type of data you can enter and what size of data you can enter. All those things are called as a input validations and error states. There are two input fields, username and password. They're given only one rule in this particular project. What is the rule here? Mandatory. Mandatory means it's a compulsory field. It is a compulsory field. You should not make it as a blank. You can't make it as a blank. Blank is not accepted. But while studying this FRS, if you have any doubts, in the particular FRS, for example, I have a doubt, how many minimum characters accepted here? How many maximum characters accepted here? Or one more doubt, whether the username accepts a special character or not. The password is accepting special characters or not. Like that, I have some doubts. While studying the FRS, if you have any doubts, then where you need to fill the doubts, we have a separate template. That template is called as a RCN template. RCN. Now, what is the meaning of RCN? RCN stands for Requirement Clarification Note. Requirement Clarification Note. That means in the requirement documents, if you need any clarifications, you need to enter that requirement clarification in this particular note. Requirement clarification note. This document is also called as a clarification document. Some people are call it as a clarification document. So while studying your requirements, if you have any doubt, you need to fill the doubts in RCN template or clarification document. In this particular document, you need to fill your doubts. According to your company standards, you need to send the doubts to your BA, your business analyst, or author of the document, or SME. SME means subject matter expert. Subject matter expert.
Sorry,
So
can I
in,
interrupt you for a minute?
yes, yes, no.
Said our RCN is requirement classification.
Requirement clarification note.
So are we getting clarified our doubts in this, or we have to enter our
Yeah, you
doubts?
need to enter your doubts. You
Okay.
need to enter your doubts. Anyway, within 1 or 2 days, we are going to see about RCN. It is a class number 3. So when we are entering into the class number 3, clearly I'll explain how to fill the doubts here. Just we need to fill the doubts only. The doubts in a particular RCN. I mean, the doubts in a particular FRS document or BRS document. If you have any doubts, you need to fill the doubts. And to whom you need to send the doubts? You need to send the doubts to your BA, your business analyst, or SME, subject matter expert, or author of the particular document. According to the guidelines given to you in your company, so you need to send the doubts to that particular people. Business analyst, or subject matter expert, or author of the document. Right. So anyway, RCN within 1 or 2 days, we are going to see about RCN. But just today, we are discussing FRS. While studying the FRS, just I'm explaining. Like while understanding this FRS, if you have any doubts, you can fill the doubts in RCN template, requirement clarification note, or some people are call it as a clarification document. Clarification document. In that document, you can fill your doubts. Right. So now coming to the continuation. In FRS totally how many points? In FRS totally there are 6 points. Out of the 6 points, now we discussed how many points? We discussed the overview. The second one is prototype. Third one is page elements. The fourth one is input validations. But till this we discussed. Input validations means like what type of data you can enter, what size of data you can enter, any rules and regulations are input fields. And if you give any invalid data, then what will be the error message? If you give any invalid data or invalid inputs, then what will be the error message? This is called as a input validations and error states. Now coming to the use case diagram or task flow diagram. So here in this particular project, in the home page, there are 4 diagrams given in this particular page, in this particular home page. What is the first diagram? The first diagram is visitor flow. Visitor flow. Now, what the visitor can do in this page? What the visitor can do? Visitor can use the top 5 buttons and the visitor can use the bottom links. Right, Amma? Visitor can use the top 5 buttons and the visitor can use the bottom links. See, the same thing will be explained in this particular task flow diagram or use case diagram. Try to understand. I'll explain the diagram. Initially, the visitor will enter the URL. A visitor can enter the URL. So when he enter the URL, he can see the home page of the bank. He can see the home page of the bank. In that home page, he can use the top 5 buttons. He can use the top 5 buttons. What are the top 5 buttons? Home button, personal banking, corporate banking, international banking, about us. Now, when he click on personal banking, what's happening? It will display the information about a personal banking. Here it will display the information about a corporate banking. Here it will display the information about international banking. Here it will display the information about that particular bank. C for continuation. C stands for continuation, right? And what the visitor can do? Visitor can use the top 5 buttons and the visitor can use the bottom links also. What is the continuation? He can use the bottom links in that particular page. Now, what are the bottom links? The bottom links are customer services, internet banking, FAQ, terms and conditions, privacy, disclaimer, sitemap. So what the things the visitor can do in that particular home page. So visitor can use the top 5 buttons and the visitor can use the bottom links. And when he click on the buttons, when he click on the links, then what will be the response from your project? What will be the response from your project? So that is called as a visitor flow diagram. Visitor flow, use case diagram or task flow diagram. So the second diagram is admin flow. Admin flow. Now in that home page, what the admin can do? What is the difference between your admin login and banker login? What we discussed. Administrator can directly enter the username password while login. The banker have to enter 3 details, 3 inputs. Now what are the 3 inputs? The banker have to fill branch name, username, password. Whereas the administrator can directly enter the username, password and he can log in. The same thing will be explained in this diagram. See, observe the second diagram. Admin flow. Admin can enter the URL. He can see the home page. Admin can enter the username, password and log in. Then he enter into which module? Enter into the admin module. Admin module. Directly he can enter the username, password and log in. Then he can see the admin module. The next one is customer flow. Now, what the customer can do in that home page? On the left hand side, the first box, the left hand side, the top box, the first box. So what this is for customer. Here there are 3 options: personal, corporate and international. If you click on personal, it will display the login page for personal banking. Here it will display the login page for corporate banking. Here it will display the login page for international banking. The same information is available here. The customer flow. Initially, he can enter the URL. He can see the home page. See, when he click on personal, it will display the login page for personal banking. Here, when he click on corporate, it display the login page for corporate banking. When he click on international, it will display the login page for international banking. Login page for personal, login page for corporate, and login page for international banking. Now coming to the banker flow. It is same like your admin flow. The banker flow is same like admin flow. But what is the difference? See, initially when he enters the URL, he can see the home page. And directly he cannot enter the username password. Before enter the username password, he need to select the branch. After selecting the branch only, he can enter the username password and click on login button, and he can see the banker module. Can see the banker module. Now, totally how many use case diagrams we discussed here? Totally 4 diagrams. 4 diagrams. So what are the 4 diagrams? The first diagram is visitor flow. The first diagram is visitor flow, a big diagram. So the second diagram is admin flow. The third diagram is customer flow, customer flow. The fourth diagram is banker flow, banker flow. See, for each and every diagram, again, they will give a use cases. They will give a use cases. So we have 4 diagrams. So that's why how many use cases will be here? Again, there are 4 use cases. 4 use cases. Based on the first diagram, what is our first diagram? The big diagram, visitor process flow, visitor flow. Based on that visitor flow, here you can see the first use case. The first use case is visitor process flow. See, the use case is like a tabular format. It's like a tabular format. One side you have a actor action, opposite side you have system response. So whatever the things we discussed in the diagram, the use case diagram, the same information is available here. Same information is here. You can see based on our first diagram, the big diagram, so what the visitor can do, what are the actions done by the visitor? Initially, the visitor can enter the URL. When he enters the URL, he can see the home page. He can see the home page with a login facility. Home page with some login facility. And what the visitor can do in that page, visitor can use the top 5 buttons and the bottom links. What are the top 5 buttons? You can see he can click on home button. He can click on personal banking, corporate banking, international banking, about us. See, when he click on this particular personal banking and so, then what is the system response? For example, when he click on personal banking, then what is the response? So it displays the information about, information and services offered for personal banking. Here it displays the information and services offered for corporate banking. Here it displays the information and services offered for international banking and so on. Whatever the things we discussed in the diagram, the use case diagram, the same information in the use case also, but it is like a tabular format. It is like a tabular format. So one side you can see the actor action, opposite side you can see the system response. So here visitor can use the top 5 buttons and the visitor can use the bottom links also. Already you know that. What are the bottom links? Like a customer service, internet banking FAQ, privacy, terms and conditions, disclaimer, and so on. Right, Amma? Got it? See, this is about visitor process flow. Okay. So now coming to the admin process flow. See, as per the diagram, what the admin can do, initially the admin can enter the URL, he can see the home page. Directly the administrator can enter the username password. Directly the administrator can enter the username password. Say after enter the username password, click on the login button, he can see the admin module. Can see the admin module. So now coming to the customer flow. So initially the customer enters the URL, he can see the home page of the bank. And on the left hand side, the first box in the page, already you know about the customer, where is the customer box. So in that customer box, when he click on personal, it displays the login page for personal banking. Here it displays the login page for corporate banking. Here it displays the login page for international banking. Login page for international banking. Right, Amma? So login page for personal banking, login page for corporate banking, login page for international banking. Now finally, banker process. Same like admin flow. What is the difference between the admin flow and the banker flow? Administrator can directly enter the username password, whereas the banker need to select the branch, in which branch he is working. After selecting the branch only, he can enter the username, he can enter the password, click on login, can see the banker mode. And just it is a bank homepage FRS. Today I'll share this FRS document with you. Our administrator will share the document with you. So today you need to study this document. No need to by heart it. No need to by heart it. Just try to understand. See, actually, this FRS document is containing 39 pages. You can see here 39 pages. But today, don't study that 39 pages. So today you need to study only the bank homepage FRS. Only the bank homepage FRS. How many pages related to the homepage? Just see till this. Don't enter into the admin module. Just till this only you need to study. It is a page number 7. In the FRS document, I'll send the entire FRS document to you. In that, you need to study the first 7 pages. First 7 pages only. So based on this FRS, from tomorrow onwards, we are going to see how to prepare the test scenarios and how to prepare the test cases. Tomorrow we are going to see how to prepare the scenarios and how to prepare the test cases. But before that, we need to discuss what is a test scenario. What is a test scenario? Now take the small heading in your notebook. Take a small heading, test scenario. Test scenario. Take a small notes about a scenario. Note it down. Test scenario is nothing but the main functionalities to be tested. Test scenario is nothing but the main functionalities to be tested. Main functionalities to be tested. Okay, ma'am. See, just here in our language, we can say like it is an important point somehow. What are the important points you need to test in the application? What are the main things you need to test in the application? So that is called as a scenarios. In a technical language, we need to say like the scenarios are nothing but the main functionalities to be tested. Main functionalities to be tested. See, in this home
Sir, I
page.
have a question.
Yes.
Only main functionalities will be tested, or we can test anything?
Yes, we need to test everything. Just I given a definition for scenario only, Amma. The
Okay.
test scenario means the main functionalities. Everything will be tested in a test case. So after the scenarios, we are entering into the test case. In test case, we need to write a test cases for each and every functionalities in your project. So just I given a definition for scenario only. Okay. And Absha here, in our home page, what are the main functionalities? Just we need to identify the main functionalities. We can check the visitor links functionalities. Visitor links functionalities means you need to verify the top buttons and you need to verify the bottom links. The top buttons and the bottom links are called as a visitor links functionalities. Initially, we need to check the visitor links functionalities. The next one, we need to check the admin login and the banker login. We need to check the admin login functionality and the banker login functionality. But when you are verifying the admin login and banker login functionalities, you need to check with the valid inputs and you need to check with invalid inputs also. Now here only in a banker login and admin login, there is an input facility. So when there is an input option, we need to check with a valid input. We need to check with invalid input. So while verifying your banker login and admin login, so we need to verify with the valid inputs and invalid inputs in tomorrow's class. Okay, now coming to the customer login. So here, can you type any inputs? Can you give any inputs here in this box? No, you can't give any input. It is a buttons. So here, just you need to verify these buttons properly working or not. You need to verify the functionalities of customer login links or customer login buttons. So what are the customer login buttons? Personal, corporate, and international. So when you click on this personal, whether it displays the login page or not. Login page for personal banking. Here it should display the login page for corporate banking. Here it should display the login page for international banking. Here you can't give any inputs. Just you need to click on this particular buttons, or you need to click on the particular links, and you need to verify the next page is opening or not. Now, what are the main functionalities? Number one, you need to check the visitor links functionalities. Visitor links functionalities means the top buttons and the bottom links. Number two, admin login. Number three, banker login. Okay, ma? Admin login and banker login. Number four, customer login links or the customer login buttons. Customer login links or customer login buttons. Like that, what are the main points we need to test in this project? So that is called as a test scenarios. And the test scenarios are not compulsory. It is optional. In some companies, we have a scenarios. In some companies, they don't have any scenario. Directly, they will enter into the test cases also. In some companies, the scenarios are optional. Directly, we are entering into test cases. But while learning, so we should learn each and everything. So that's why while learning, we need to learn the scenarios also. After the scenarios, I'll explain the test cases. Tomorrow, we are going to see the test cases. See, in the test cases, in the tomorrow's class, we need to write what are the actions you need to perform. For that particular action, what is the expected result? What is the expected result? But how to write these particular actions and expected result? You need to write these actions and you need to write this expected result based on the use case only. Based on the use case only. Already in the use case, you are familiar with the use case. Today, how many use cases we discussed in the bank homepage? In the bank homepage today, we discussed 4 use case diagrams. 4 diagrams we discussed and 4 use cases we discussed. What is the first use case? First use case is visitor process flow. Here the given actor action and system response. In FRS, we have a use case. In the use case, the given actor action, the given system response. Based on this particular actor action, based on this particular system response, we need to prepare the tomorrow our test cases. We need to prepare the tomorrow's our test case. See, it is our tomorrow's test case. We are going to verify the visitor links. We are going to verify the visitor links. Here you can see whatever the actions you need to perform. What is the expected result you are expecting? These two fields you need to fill based on the use case only. See, I'll explain.